my name is Richard Carter. I'm from England. I'm deaf. I grew up as a deaf person. I first began to sign at the age of 16, but I have been creating sign poetry for 22 years. I'd like to give you now one of my poems. It's called Theatre. And the story is that there's a person working in the theatre who's very famous. The audience love him, but he has a lot of personal problems. He drinks a lot, he has a lot of emotional difficulty, but he hides that from his stage persona and he presents to the world a wonderful face. So here we go. And the title of this is Art Abstract. And this came about because I was looking at a particular work of art, a painting hung on a wall, and I was thinking about the story that the painting was telling me. I don't know what your sign is for, woman? Woman. Okay, so the portrait was of a woman, but she wasn't terribly happy. It wasn't clear whether she was ill or healthy, but here's a story that I created from looking at this painting on the wall. work is entitled Interpreter. This is the British sign for interpreter. And this came about because there was a small boy at a school. So this is my BSL sign for school. A small boy who was going to school. And he was being taught through the oralist method. This is the story of what would happen if you were exposed to sign, and it's called interpreter.
and this is about culture and historical traditions and change.
My name is Donna Williams. I'm from England, or England, however you like to sign it. I'm a British Sign Language poet. I've flown all the way here to be with you tonight. And I have 3 poems that I'd like to offer you. And I'll introduce each in turn. So the first poem is entitled My Cat. Oh, sorry, I should go back and introduce myself. I'm forgetting myself. I grew up in a hearing world. I learned to sign when I was 19 years of age. And for the last 4 years, I've been learning to sign. For the last 6 years. So that brings us up to date, and here's my poem, My Cat. I recently got a new cat, but I think this will become clear to you in the course of the poem, so here it goes. My second poem is called Who Am I? And this poem is really, well, it's one of the original poems I wrote, the first poem I wrote, in fact, 6 years ago. And it's really a poem about identity. And at that time, I really wasn't sure which world I belonged in. And I wrote this poem as an expression of the emotions I had around that at the time. So, who am I? And this one's called Red and Green. And this came from, from Christmas, which is supposed to be a joyous time, but it was a time when I was really ill. Looking back on it, this is what came out of it. A poem entitled Red and Green.
Suddenly, the jump rope flies up and falls to the ground, solitary. My arm yanked up. I look back to see my childhood slipping away. Pulled by an adult into a hallway, cold lamps line the ceiling. Led down endless brightly lit corridors, a table with a microphone. A paper states B-A-L-L. Yes, the adult corrects my speech. Wrongs and rights, over and over. I know that's fucking ball. The table and microphone crashed to the ground. Back down long, brightly lit corridors. I take my jump rope back. My face hurts. Why did you have to take my childhood away? Water falls. Behind closed doors, men in power discuss betrayal. Agreement. Outside the walls, 1880. Milano. Milano, Milano, Milano. The audience awaits. The edict is declared. Arms cut off. Lip movements only. Floodwaters rise, swept under by the tide of history. Sinking. Breathless bubbles float slowly to the surface. Seaweed gently flowing, sinking to the bottom. There is only death.
Oh yeah, outside. Yeah. You!
Walking, strolling down a city street. A dog shits. Nobody picks it up. Her shoe barely misses it. Walking, passing by a wall, above on a roof, an inexplicable man fires a gun. The bullet barely zips by the pedestrian and kills a policeman. Walking, in the wall of a building, a window. In the window, curtains. Through the curtains, a woman with a ponytail feigns innocence. Her angry husband throws the holy wedding ring to the floor. He pushes a piano out the window. The piano flies through the air and hits the ground behind the pedestrian. She walks on, oblivious, arriving at the bus stop, only to find she just missed the bus. The departing bus rounds a corner. An overloaded fruit truck rolls over. They collide. The pedestrian, having missed the bus, laments, "I always have bad luck." Father is driving a pickup truck. "My boy, oh, where are we going?" It's a secret. Are we going fishing? Oh, you know. Rounding the corner, a line of strangers blocking the road. Suddenly glass shatters. Shards of glass fly into the air. The boy watches the pieces floating before his eyes. The reflecting sun conjures memories. Clouds, trees, water, stones. Artificial fly skips on the water. Father is fly fishing. Son throws a stone, skipping across the water. It sinks. The glass shard emerges. Where is Father? Where is Father? Where is Father? Father falls to his knees, beaten by the strangers. They surround him. Just look at them. They're humans. The boy pushes his way through. They continue to beat Father, thrashing him wildly. The leader steps forward. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Jews, Christians, Muslims. Wielding a Coca-Cola bottle. He smashes it in half. Shards of glass fly into the air. He rams the broken bottle into Father's stomach. Again and again with lust. Blood trickles from Father's mouth. He collapses. As his head falls, the shard of glass descends. They land together on the bleeding earth.
My name is John Wilson, and I'm from England. Or England, however you might wish to call it. I have two poems I'm going to offer you today. Both of them are fairly old, things I created 20 years ago, and another one which is actually a joining of two previous poems. The first poem focuses on the tail of a whale. And looks at the topic of deaf education, comparing whales and education of deaf children. My second piece looks at children. And this is Kenny. And we're flying with Flying Words Project.
Poetry. 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 I can play with language. Poetry. Poetry is a tree and a flying snake. The eyes a nearby nest. Then gingerly reaches up, going back on the branches like a bow. Himself the arrow. Poetry. It's the doors. Pounding on the doors. It's opening the door. FBI, you! Against the wall! Turn around! Against the wall. Poetry. Poetry. It's the plane taking off. It's the Bombay doors opening. It's the explosion of language. Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
So the USA produces around 4%, has the population of around 4% of the world. But it's responsible for about 25% of the world's global consumption of oil. And I think what's worse is the clothes that we wear, the shoes that we wear, the hats that we buy, the iPads that we play with, are all manufactured in developing countries. Like China. Their factories are some of the worst in the world, the most polluting. They're based on coal. And their coal mines are some of the most dangerous in the world. Last year alone, about 3,000 miners died. 3,000? That's awful. So you're talking about things from China, right? I don't think that's true, right? There's definitely one thing which is still an American product. Chinese food.
Thank you. Okay. This is called Made in the USA. A spray of jostling. Take one, magnify it. You see a double helix DNA, a sideways ladder. Take just one rung. Magnify that, and it reads, made in China. Factory, clock. Wailing over machinery under floodlights, benches, sewing machinery. And they're shoveling coal, fire, shoveling coal, fire. She's a seamstress at work. Besides her, a dog seamstress at work. And a rat seamstress. Sewing, machine sweat. A sweat drop. It meets the sun, shine, glistening right through the drops. Drop, drop, drop. She sweats. They sweat. They all sweat. Sweat rains. Sweat floods the warehouse. Sweat. Underarm sweat. Fanning out, cascading. Oh, waterfalls. Flood levels rising, she floats. They all float. Her hair. An air bubble. Pops, draining, counterclockwise. She's swirling into walls, swirling counterclockwise as the water drains all the way down, dropping her on her bench. She's a seamstress at work, and they're shoveling coal, fire, smoke, clouds. A flock of birds enters the cloud and comes out bones, scattering bones. Shoveling down. Shoveling a hole. Jumping down. Sweat drops down the shaft. Thank you. Kenny and I have a really good friend from Canada who's from Montreal. And he signed LSQ. We go back there. His name, Serge Briere. That's his signing. Just a beautiful, beautiful poet. And he's gone now. About 10 years, I think, now. He had the best eyes, the most amazing eyes. So we created a poem in memory of Serge. It's called Prayer for Serge. Curly hair, deep-set eyes, mustache, sunken cheeks. Serge, there he is. I wrote his name on a piece of paper. Then an ink-drying breeze lifted the name. Curled up his face and blew him away. Then the room breathes, and the television breathes, and the clothing breathes, and the phone won't ring. Outside in the streets, someone finds a lucky coin. And the phone won't ring. Then the sun invades my tree and casts a shadow that strains at its tethers and breaks free. I wrote his name on a piece of paper. With a prick of the pen, a drop of blood falls into the Black Sea, whose waves hold the twinkling reflection of the stars in the water, a perfect symmetry of sky, of sea, of a setting sun, of a man. Okay, now to start asking it. How many of you are parents? I see there's a lot of young parents out there, young mothers out there. Wow. So, this is a poem for the parents. It's called Double Twinkle. Above this planet, a star, and from a different angle, you can see back, light years back to the original sun, still giving off that distant sparkle. It's a ball of gas, nuclear. Exploding, expanding, radiating out until gravity pulls it all back together, collapsing it down. With a final gasp, it disappears. And light years away, from a different angle, it still sparkles. He takes another sip, and this silhouette is a sunlit reflection towards his eye, absorbed into the eye, projected. It's an upside-down optical nerve message to the brain, where it's turned right side up, labeled woman, and poured down into the bloodstream. Oh my God, open the gates! Blood rushes into his tube, which thickens and straightens up. Next thing he knows, her contractions her hair, her mouth, opening and closing, lips, petals unfurl. A bumblebee. Swallowed down the stem, a growth. Her contractions, her breasts shooting off, fireworks, rain splashing, her lips opening and closing as the little head pushes through, and the flower contracts, and then the baby, the whole baby, opens an eye. Her eyes knock her father off his feet. Their eyes fuse and nirvana radiates out until he pulls it all back together, compressing it down to a single teardrop.
It's a little bit wobbly up here. Hello, my name is Paul Scott. I'm from Britain. I have deaf parents and I grew up in a silent family. And the poem that I'm going to give you today is about reflecting some of the observations I've had about the deaf community, deaf culture, and differences that I've seen, and distilling that into a poem. The first poem I'll offer you is called Macbeth. And the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So it's an interesting mission. women are very important for me, so I'm deciding to pick this poem to perform to you as well. It's called Blue Suit.